moment that we actually have all been waiting for. With more comprehensive data, a more advanced platform, even more powerful features. It's finally time to introduce you to our latest innovation. To present it to you directly, please welcome the Chief Technology Officer of Bumi Farta Technology, SB Lutfan. Let's hit it up, Pak Akti.
Hi, my name is Asbi, and I'm here to guide you through how BVT helps businesses make decisions with the power of location intelligence. Founded in 2018, BVT has grown to become Indonesia's leading provider of location intelligence. We empower businesses of all sizes to make smarter and faster decisions using the power of data and location intelligence. We have four offerings in our products: Lokasi Intelligence, Lokasi Enterprise, Insight, and also Targeting. Each one is designed to solve critical business challenges, whether if you need a site selection and planning, relocation for optimum market coverage, increasing market share by identifying new leads, or tracking your assets. Our solutions have powered many decision-making ability for major brands like The Harvest, FIF, Astra, Esteh Indonesia, Telkomsel, Pertamina, and many more. And now, we are pleased to announce a new version of our Lokasi Intelligence. These versions will allow you to bring your own dataset, enrich them with BVT datasets, and visualize them within the platform. You can upload your internal data, so this gives you flexibility on various use cases and hypotheses that you want to analyze. You can also discover various datasets that BVT can provide and use them to enrich your datasets. You can adjust the visualization and the styling, so you can use it for discussion and for presentation. You have control over how you want to configure and fine-tune the parameters for your analysis. You can then save the parameters or save the result as a new dataset. So this allows for more complex analysis based on the foundation that has been built. We are both ISO and TKDN certified to support both SMEs and large enterprises. BVT continues to innovate, helping business make better decisions based on data and powered by location intelligence. Thank you for having me.
Good morning everyone. My name is Asbi. I'm from BVT Technology team. And welcome to BVT Tech Summit 2025. I'm very excited to be all of you here today. And over the next few minutes, we're going to share how location intelligence can help transform business to make a strategic decision, and also how location intelligence can unlock insight that can drive business growth. So, business data without location context can often tell an uncertain story. Imagine you're saying sales declining all across your stores. But the numbers, if you see on the spreadsheet, tells you what's happening, but they don't tell you where it's happening. The where can completely change what you should do about the problem. Maybe sales are growing because there are new competitors opening up on nearby stores, or maybe it's happening because the local population in the area is changing. And location intelligence not only just data, but can help you understand more what's happening in this area. Let's take a look at data, for example. Here you can see that the longer a store is operating, then the more money that it makes. It has time to build their customer bases. So if we take a look on, if we really want to see on what's happening on this area, how many competitors we buy? What's the profile of the neighborhood? It can give you insights on what's happening in this area, and the same numbers there can tell you a different thing. So this is where location intelligence comes into help. Instead of guessing why one of our stores isn't doing well, we can actually see if new competitors open up nearby. Instead of wondering why sales drop, at certain times of the day on here, we can see how many people are actually in that area during given that day. Now, let's see the same data, the address that we see before in the spreadsheet at the map. Each that you see is one of those stores. The darker the dots means the more money that the store makes. Right away, you can see patterns that were visible in the spreadsheets. For example, you can see on the top, like these are the big performing stores. What's happening there? Maybe it's more closer to the right target customers. And if we see on the bottom right, there's one particular store that is performing better than the other stores nearby. So the map doesn't automatically tell you what these factors what this pattern is actually mean, but it tells you where to look and go deeper. Now the same data here we are seeing from the demand perspective. We are here looking from how long the store has been opening. So suddenly the map looks a bit different. Some stores have been running more than multiple years, and some stores have run it only for a few months. You can see which areas have the newer stores and which one is the established one. It's the same location, same stores, but we are seeing a different story. Just by switching what we are measuring, we go from looking from how much money that they are making into how long have we been in the business. So when we are seeing on a different Lexus, it gives us a better understanding how our businesses work. When a business wants to open new locations, they usually do one of the two things. First, they ask their experts or the peer, where do you think we have to open next, right? And these experts may have great stories, but what they knew 5 years ago may not be true still. Neighborhoods change. People start living in the new area, so the behavior changes. So unless they are keeping up with these changes, the headpast might be outdated. And the second one is we can send teams to actually visit the area. Well, this gives us more detailed information about the area, but it may take days to weeks. So it's just take more time. And at the same time, while we are still doing our research, other businesses might swoop in and grab the best spots. So the real challenge is how we can balance the experience and the experts' knowledge, and how we can decide in a fast-moving market like the ring. So this is where our data sets comes in to help with litigation decisions. Instead of starting from scratch, we can use information that we've already gathered from many different sources. We have data about what businesses and services are nearby, like restaurants, shops, banks. We have information about who lives in the area, their age, their income level, and we have data showing how many people actually walk through different areas throughout the day. Next. So we'll do a short demonstration here. Yeah. So here, let's try bringing our internal company data. So let's say we have other performance that we see earlier. You can just upload the files into the platform, and the system will parse the data for you, which we can then define the spatial attributes so that we can visualize this data into the map. And then after finishing up the configurations, you can publish this dataset as a dataset so that everyone in our organizations can access the same dataset and use it for their project. Next, we'll try to preview the datasets. You can see inside. Now, here we can choose which attributes value this has. So for example, I want to see the next based on the lecture. So so you see the mountain follows needs the outlets that didn't boring. You can here see to, for example, the operating mask that we see to look at. And then you can change the size. From the previous videos, we can see how we can use the different data sets. We can automatic based on the spy. Well, we can extract this solution about the work. Next, I'm going to talk about how we can identify all the external bases. So, first, we have to understand what we areas of the work, what targets expense as customers that work. Are we targeting families? Are we targeting formations? About students, first of all. And we have to know what criteria that how this decisions to be sized. So, doing it, for example, fact to track, doing it at specific income levels. And based on this information, we can then filter out which data set that is relevant for our analysis. So here, for example, we use age group and populations. Let's say you want to digest estimates that is a student and also a young age group. And we can choose these two data sets and try to visualize it in the area of the water attack and presented in generic cells. Now, if you see that the system produces cells with different the dark profiles means that they have more customer that is young and with it is to work. Now, after we know, let's say we have some assumption, right? After the first initial analysis, and then we have spotted and double check with different vehicles. It's like looking at the house you occupy. So you don't just check, skip the houses already, but you also then like the neighborhood was made such into. So isn't the PLC clear? So the Henry Finance is like prior to it and at the commission as well. Like how you dispatch this earlier, and how many commodities to requests. So practicing through all these users perspective, all these feature enables you can understand more about and you can ask more about the essential. Now let's take an example based on how you read to the previous data. We take MAPA and then take a if you see here, the one in MAPA has a terrible score because of two reasons. First, they have more students and young people living or working in that area. So that generates the higher score than the two. And the other two series where you see a number of UI or food and beverage means that MAPA has more dining options than the because meaning people already going there to be and free. So there's a full dinner. And here we can see where are the right hero. The right rotations for the top 10 segment that we are targeting. Next, so the analysis that we do, we don't just look at once and forget. We can save the input data set so that everyone can use for their brains. So instead of everyone either take study process and make their own research, they can build up works that's already been done before. It's like getting a library application notice that the whole faculty can then use and ask and builds all the time. Let's say, for example, we want to add another data. Let's say that's the first graphic We can also and we understand, and you can overlay it with multiple data layers. So that gives you more information about the area. The more layers that we build over time, then the smarter our decision will touch. So instead of starting uh, process, we're building everything on what we've learned before. See, here we'll try to load the age group demographic as well as occupation demographic. We want to focus our analysis on students and young people also. So we, we can change the study and do a simple overlay analysis. We can then define which area we want to focus in. We can define layer tags on a specific spot in the area. Or if we want to focus on a certain area, let's take South Jakarta, for example. Now, then we have to choose the output format that we want the analysis kit. So, for example, we are using S3-based system stack, and then we can define the which attributes that matters most for us. Because you are focusing on students and also the people, we can set the other attributes to 0 and set the numbers for the attributes that make up. So this gives you flexibility on specifying which attributes that was focused on that didn't show abilities. And after we generate the results, we can see that the system will generate create and spots and they load all the attributes based on the data set and the enough version. And the darker the colors, that means the higher the score based on the weighting that we have set up before. Now we have two options. We can save the output of the analysis as a project, as a contribution, so that we can continue later on, or we can start this as real access, so that everyone in our case can use the same data sets for their own projects, because they might have a different hypothesis, they might have a different needs, and by having the data set published into the organizations, we can leverage what have been data. Now, let's try to assess the period data before. Here we can just from the data set as because as we got this, and then we can combine it with data set from BVT. Let's say I want to look food and beverage GOIs, and I want to focus specifically on public stocks. Here's some more. Now we can try to mix between these two data layers. We can guess the order of the data layers. We can change the visualizations so that we can get the insights that we are getting. So our purpose is to help discrete max database decisions with the powers of data and locus intelligence. We provide professional analysis and customizations with our pre-house persons to be at the favorite organizations. And next you will see how we can leverage location intelligence to keeping us from this down. Please welcome our business analyst Ismail.
Okay. Hello everyone, good morning. So here I'm going to present about the case study of what can do with rotational intelligence. So imagine that you're a business owner in DKI Jakarta. Business is doing good, and then you want to expand, but you don't have the time to see all through the DKI Jakarta because you don't know where to go. Should I go south, east, west, or maybe should I expand to areas that pass near residential areas or near office? So here I will show you the practice how to achieve your business goal from case study. So next, okay, we're going to start with questions. So we start with talking about we don't know. We have 2 questions. So do you want to expand But how do we go where the demand pool is? Because like sometimes like data is like see if it's like the demand is there, it's all coordinate is there, and then like we want to expand, like some of our outlets are underperforming, but like we're still unsure whether it's like from the location sites or from the operation sites. Now we need to bet our expansion plans we more needed. So it's not to replace our distance instinct, but it's to help us by finding patient with more data-driven insights. So to answer those questions, we have like three data posing. The first is the demand gap, second one is the missed early sites, and the third one is location mismatch. So first, we often assume that an area has a strong momentum, but it turns out to be disaligned with our brightest starting market. And second, we might not realize that the area is very saturated with the competitors. So many of whom are targeting, say, customer profile, and this leads to unnecessary competition and shared market cannibalization. And last one is our location might not match with the lifestyle or the behavior of the local consumers. So whether in terms of mobility, daily routines, or how they spend their time and money, it's not actually. Next. So this is how location intelligence help us to answer the right decision. So we are looking at three key factors. So this is based on what you see repeatedly in the fields. First, we often assume that an area has strong demand, but it turns out it's misaligned with the breadth target market. Second, you might not realize that the area is rated with the competitors. So we need to count like the similar QIs. We need to assess like whether the area is already saturated using data like POI, FND, or maybe like retail shops and all other stuff. And we need to have an assessment. Is it like still competitive or not? Or whether should we go into that area or not? And last one is, does the location match our brands? So to answer this question, usually like we assume that one particular location, we assume that it's good for like dining, like F&B, all this. But turns out it's not. What we're needing is like for like takeaway, but like based on our like vision or something, we see that it's not aligning with our target market. So next. So after we redo it, okay, we start with like different questions as a starter. First, this is like the client. We're definitely planning to do like expansion. The problem is we're unsure how to identify the areas where your target customer are and avoid costing steps. So we're gonna help the customers right from zero because like they have no idea where to start. And solution is we're going to use this spatial analytics. So we're going to pinpoint the high-hit zones and back with all like data catalogs such as like demographic, age group, solar jet, and EPI data before committing to the site. Next. So we start with questions, right? Now we're gonna do a further analysis. We start with mapping what we already know. So here, the right side, you can see there are dark maps and circles. What are those means? So the dark map shows like the social economic status. So it's basically like their spending power. So the darker it is, it shows that it has like more spending power. And we overlay it with all like red circles. So red circle here is all like existing stores. So from here, by overlaying these two data sets, store location and socioeconomic phase, we can like start asking the right question, whether our existing store has been put into like the areas that have like high spending power, or we put it in the other areas that doesn't have like as good as the higher areas. So next, if you look here at South Jakarta, we can see that we only have like few stores there. But like the spending power is there. So we might want to zoom into this part, and then like we are trying to look like where should we go in South Jakarta and where should we go inside this South Jakarta. Next. So here we're zooming in into South Jakarta. As you can see in the maps, it's being clearer. So the darker it is, the higher spending power, and we can see like our outlets. See, so few outlets are currently in South Jakarta, and like here like operating in like the northern part and like the central part. So we still have like a lot of potential here, especially in the high spending areas. So next. So here we're focusing on the target market. So at this stage, we define our target market more clearly. So like the table on the left, this is like our target market. Usually we ask the sales team for input. So we have like different factors like age group, POIs, F&B, retails, and all other stuff. So basically we ask like input from sales team, we turn it into the criteria, and then we have like priority scale here. So is it high, medium, and low? So after this, we're gonna combine it into the map that we've seen on the right side. So what does this mean? So this hexagon shows that it's the combination of these parameters along with the priority, and it shows our target market. So the darker that it is, it's the better target market for our location. And we overlay it with the red circles, which is our store location, and we can see and you can compare, are our stores already in the best areas, or are other stores we should consider? So this helps us to plan the next step based on data, so not just guessing. Next, so after we got the hexagons as we seen before, we only filter only on the input areas. So here, that's why it shows that we filter out, so only like few hexagons left. So this means that this is our primary target. So this is the highest scoring bin areas that we get from the combined priorities that we saw earlier. So this gives us a more focused view of zones that match our ideal customer profile. So on top of this filtered map, we overlay it with our existing outlets. So we can see like no more in detail, like where are our stores at and is it like it's a target market or not? So here, where to go next? So here I have like 3 maps. The left side and the center side is the existing outlets. So we're trying to map like the accessibility of our outlets. So what you've seen here is a catchment area. So the green areas is a catchment area. So it's built based on the roadmap, and we see how accessible is it in our stores. So here we assume that we use 3 kilometers because I think in this case it's like very reasonable for the Jakarta area. And here we can see like this is the existing stores. So like some of our stores has already like it can be reached to like our target market, but like on the bottom side, it doesn't shows that our existing store have like target market, and like I think we should start to like see about like the future opportunities. So here in the last map, after we compare like these 2 maps, it seems like the northern part of the Jakarta Selatan is not covered yet. So we have like 3 potential sites, for example, but we can't afford to like kick all of 3 of it, right? So sometimes you just need to choose one of it. So here we can see like as an example in the future, we have like 3 candidates, the upper one and the middle one and the bottom one. So it assumes that we are going to reach the target market there with the accessibility that we have. Okay, now from the 3 sides, so which one to choose if you want to only choose one, right? So let's say the first one is the site 1, the middle one is site 2, and the bottom one is site 3. So using the catchment area, so we're calculating the accessibility, and then in the catchment area, we can get like the number of people, the age group, the POIs. So everything that we put in the parameter as our target market, we can get it here. So from that calculation, we do another scoring. So this one is different from the grid. So here, after the calculation of the accessibility to our POIs and age group, target demography, we have like score that you can see in the right side. We have like 309 for a site 1, the upper one, 305, and then 2.8. So what does this mean? So site 1 score highest. So here you can see like the composition, like mostly it's F&B and retails. Site 2, it's close. It has like 280 F&B and 800 retails, and all of other parameters that we have like we choose in before the just like where we choose our target market. But like this is just like some of an example of like POI that we can use here. So our data catalog has a lot more data. And what makes them stand out? So remember that in the previous slide we set the priority to where population will be like high priority. So this is where they stand out. So for example, we want to target like a age group 20 until 40, and those like two sides, they have like the target priority of our age group. So this will works into like different cases. You can use like demographic, age group, social, economic status, and then like KPI. So, and what are they good for? So here, if you have to choose between 1, 2, or 3, maybe like the idea is like, oh, I should choose like the highest one with 3.09, but like it's not necessarily the highest the better, because like because the composition is different. For example, site 1 may win in like F&B, POI, retail POI, but like site 2, they may win in like other parameters, such as they have a lot of office, a lot of like activities, schools, and other stuff. So it might be different. So how you choose between these 3 sites, it depends on your strategy. So next. So this is what we get from like our like simple case studies. So we can cut like survey time and cost. So for example, like in the first, we don't need to go to all over Jakarta. We can like narrow down the scope. We can choose like, is it wise to go to like all other places, or just pick like some like areas, as we see like you choose like Jakarta Selatan because it has like high spend power and we have like less outlets there. And then this will cut survey time. Maybe like for 4 weeks you can do like some preliminary analysis, because you always narrow down scope from the macro side, from the Jakarta Selatan, and then you go into like the grid analysis, and then if you found out that you get like the high target market, and then you narrow down again into site candidates, and then from out of the 3 sites you need to choose one. So this will save a lot of time and cost. You don't need to like do like some kind of like lusukan at first. And then we can evaluate the store performance. So it's not just based on like revenue. So as we've seen before, we had it that we overlay like our target grids, and then we can see like everything. So it's basically comparing like the target market and our store revenues, and then we can limit over time. So it may be like monthly, yearly, and evaluate our strategy. And then like the framework that you've seen before, it can do like we can like duplicate it into like other parts. For example, in Jakarta Selatan, like maybe the DKI Jakarta, they have like similar like target markets. So like what we do in Jakarta Selatan, we can do it like maybe in Jakarta Timur and like other stuff. But like bear in mind, like if you want to replicate this framework like from Jabodetabek into other areas such as like Sulawesi or Sumatra or maybe like other place, it might not work. Because why? Because here we know Indonesia has like different demographic composition, socioeconomic status, and then like POIs, the infrastructure is different. So like in this process, we usually ask the local sales team manager to give us an input for the parameters. So this is basically the iteration of the R&D that we should do when we do this goal and we're doing the part benchmark with. Next. Okay, I think that's it for me. I hope it will help in some case studies. Yeah. Good morning, everyone.
That was such an exciting presentation, Pasby and Ismail. Thank you so much. So with all new features, our enriched data, and of course, user-friendly